Now, as usual, this channel and or content is not for the basic amoeba. If you can't watch a video for like 5 to 8 minutes, or you don't have the concentration span for that because you've been binge watching short form content, just click off and go and watch something else. It's absolutely fine. That said, if you stayed, welcome. My name is Gavin. Today I want to talk about why your affirmations haven't worked. Now, if you jump down the self-improvement rabbit hole, or you've got some bad habits you might have tried to change, you might have studied like the subconscious mind or whatever, or using affirmations to try and change your life, right? There's a reason that they haven't worked, okay? And it's not because of you've been writing it, not writing it in the present tense, like I am wealthy, I am successful. It's nothing to do with that. It can feel like you're trying desperately to change, right? And sometimes no matter what you do, you just revert back to old ways. Like, I've been there myself. Like, I know I talk about it all the time, but like the list goes on, like smoking, drinking, doing drugs. I was a drug addict for years. The amount of times that I told myself that I was going to stop, that this is going to be the last time, even in those times, and like before recovery, I would try to use affirmations, but it didn't work because you can't use new positive thinking to get rid of old habits, or more importantly, your old self-image. So like, you haven't changed and affirmations haven't worked for you because you haven't changed your self-image, okay? And that's what I'm saying about it can feel like your old ways just pull you back. You always have like a fucking default setting that you tend to revert back to and go back to like your baseline, because your self-image hasn't changed, okay? If you believe that you're a loser, you don't fucking win in life, you're a failure, your brain will direct you. Your brain will direct your life in that way in which you believe, because that is what your self-image is, okay? So in order to really change, okay, you have to change your self-image. Now, people talk about the subconscious mind, okay, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, but the subconscious mind is not really a thing, okay? That is really a mechanism, a self-serving mechanism that your mind directs, okay? So basically it's impartial. If you feed it good, you will get good. If you feed it bad, you will get bad, okay? That's why it's so important to change your self-image. Now, you don't need to use affirmations. You can if you want to back up this practice, but it's not absolutely necessity, okay? What you have to do is use visualizations. Now, I've learned this myself. Not at the time, I didn't realize I was doing it, okay? But like, there was a time where I wanted to start boxing again. And there was a particular show that I wanted to be a part of. They put on really big shows. They had televised matches. It was like a semi-professional league, like a really prestigious league, really. And I would think about boxing in this league every single night. Like, when I was going to bed, I would close my eyes and I would literally dream of being at this show and, having my hand raised in victory, all that stuff, like visualizing myself doing all of the training, like what it would feel like, what it would smell like, like boxing gloves, sweat, and like sweat when you've been fighting. If you know, then you know. But months and months later, an opportunity occurred. Obviously, I started training again. An opportunity occurred where I got to go and have a trial for this boxing league. And I remember, because I was shitting my pants. I went out of town and I was alone, didn't have my boxing coach with me or any friends. I went completely alone. Go to another gym, and this gym is packed. There's like 50 boxers in there. 50 boxers, God knows how many trainers. Like, you could barely move around in there. It was like a packed nightclub sort of thing. It's like sardines. And had a trial, got a few good rounds in, and then I ended up getting picked for the show. And that's just one time where, you know, listen, this is not, I'm not talking about manifestation here. This is literally the process of how things work, okay? Another time, you know, off the top of my head, like, I used to dream of being able to live a sober, like, normal life. And I used to think about that feeling, and I can't describe it in any other way than like gratitude and freedom, like having that feeling. That was all I imagined out of it. And eventually, God willing, I fucking made it. And I've been sober for 3.5 years. Even last year, you know, coming out of addiction, my frame was really fucking skinny. Like, I hated myself. I hated my life. I hated being in my own skin. I hated my body. I hated the way I looked naked. I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror. I was so skinny that I wouldn't even take my top off in midsummer. Like, that's how much I hated my body. I was ashamed of it. I felt like a little bitch, a little scrawny bitch. Okay. And then I started training a little bit more. But before that, I visualized my body and how I wanted it to look. And I mean, like, down to the fucking, you know, slits in my abs. Do you know what I mean? The cuts in my abs, like how I imagine my shoulders and like my chest, like the definition and what sort of size they would be, like the roundness of the muscles. Like, I really went to town visualizing it. Started training, and then as luck would have it, I bumped into somebody that I met in a sauna in some random gym one time. And he messaged me out of the blue. This guy is a personal trainer. Okay. And he basically took me under his wing for free and showed me everything that he knows. Told me exactly what to do, just gave me the fucking roadmap. And in like 10 months, I put on like 10 kilos. Like, that's fucking insane. Like, and yeah, like, it's crazy, but the things that you visualize in your head, okay, the pictures that you put in your head, once they become a part of you, your brain will just direct you automatically to that thing. It's literally foolproof. Like, you know, you could call it manifestation, I guess, but this is literally the process of doing it. Okay. If you want to be more successful, visualize yourself being more successful. Okay. It might not necessarily be a millionaire. Maybe it'll just be that feeling of not worrying about the bills. What is that going to feel like to you? Maybe it's that feeling when you go to the airport, when you're about to go on vacation, you're about to have some fucking sick holiday in like some really exotic place or some cool place. You know, imagine the car you're going to drive, but don't just imagine the car. Imagine the feel of the steering wheel. Like, what type of leather is it? Is it like that rubbery leather? What does it smell like? Is there an air freshener in the car? Get outside the car and run your fingers along the fucking paintwork. Feel the details of the car. Feel the tyres. What do the tyres feel like? Those new, brand new tyres. Smell the fucking tyres. Like, really ingrain the image into your fucking mind. Okay? Listen, guys, you have to try this. Like, it's not wishy-washy. It's not woo-woo. Like, it's fact. It's pretty much scientifically proven. If you read the book Psycho-Cybernetics, it really goes into this. I can tell, like, I know I've spoken about books before on this channel, but I've spoke about separating, you know, those books that are just really fluffy to the ones that have like real fucking juice, like straight away. Page one, it's like, yes, you know, this is going to be an absolutely sick book. And I recommend that you go get Psycho-Cybernetics. Guys, remember, it is your God-given right to be successful, and it's your responsibility to reach your potential.